And one of the things you learn in your career is there are many big breaks, but I suppose my biggest break was being accepted into the Directors Guild of America training program, which put me on the sets of some great movies. I worked on 3 Days of the Condor and All the President's Men, also a short stint on The Fortune, and met some great people, including the directors, Francis Coppola, Alan Pakula, and gave me a lot of opportunities to learn and set me on the road and on the path to eventually becoming a producer. So that was my big break. Well, originally I was inspired by a love of film. My dad used to make little Super 8 movies, and I remember once when we were a kid, he once told me to hold up this little swimming tube and go like this. And he stopped the camera, and all of a sudden, on film, my sister appeared in the center. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And I must have been 8 years old. And I just started to really like film from that. And then I grew up during the time of a really exciting period in film. All the European films, the French New Wave, the Italian Renaissance films, the English films, David Lean, Sergio Leone, Francois Truffaut, and so on, and so Alan Rene. There's so many great directors, so many great interesting films that I was exposed to really through the New York Film Festival first. And I just started to love film, and I was inspired by all of those filmmakers. It was interesting to me for many different reasons. One of them was I love New Zealand, and this was a chance to showcase New Zealand. Two, it was a really interesting idea of a way to utilize new media, internet, and disseminate creative content. And I thought it'd be exciting. It was a really innovative, interesting thing to try. And then also, I think I like to work with new filmmakers, and I thought it would be a chance to meet many different people that would be exciting to me and fresh and new and maybe teach me something. One of the most exciting things about your big break is it's new and exciting. It's something I've never seen before, and it's exploring the use of new media. So I'm really excited about it. I find New Zealand a really comfortable place to make films. First of all, it's got awe-inspiring beauty, all the way from the mountain ranges in the South Island and the Great Lakes and fjords, to the ski fields, to the almost subtropical areas in the North Island. And so within a very small country, you've got a range of scenery. You also have vast areas of the country that aren't very populated. You can enjoy nature and not see people or houses or any sign of civilization. And yet at the same time, you have cities like Auckland of over 1 million people. But perhaps most of all and most thrilling for me is the attitude of the crews and the idea that you can do anything, really. That those crews are willing to go out there and stand out in the middle of a rainstorm and a windstorm under the most trying conditions and stay to get the shot, because every one of them loves making movies, and that's an enthusiasm that's rare and I truly value. One of the exciting things about working with new filmmakers is the fact that they have, first of all, they don't carry the baggage of all of the fears that you develop of things you can't do. They have no, you can't do this, or it's not done that way, and they'll go out and try new things. And you know, sometimes that's the best way to make a movie. Just go for it, and trust that if you persevere and if you have the drive, you're going to get it done. The phrase 100% pure New Zealand, to me, connotes the fact that the environment, which is so fresh and clean and pure, and the spirit of the people and the spirit of the country itself. It's novel, different, and exciting. As a rule of thumb, in my experience, you can get maybe anywhere from 5 to 15 setups a day would be a good way to think of it. And for you planning this out as a young filmmaker, I'd say you're going to get maybe between 5 and 10 setups a day. So you figure that you've got 2 days, you've got somewhere between 10 and 20 shots to tell your story. And when you figure out your story, you should keep that in mind so that you can actually achieve the goal. Remembering again that what you want to do is you want to bring a smile to your audience, particularly in the subject I think that we're after here is that people look at this and they feel good and warm and entertained. Can you actually achieve what you have put down with a small crew? So your ideas have to fit within that kind of a scale. What equipment are you going to require? Are you going to need a helicopter? It's probably out of the range of the budget of this piece that you're going to direct. So when you plan it out, you've got to think of the scale and the economy, and also you've got to think of the impact. So you're going to have to do some trade-offs. You're going to want maybe something special, but you can only have so much. Every shot can't be spectacular. You can't count on showcasing your talent by the technology you use. You got to showcase your talent by the ability to create something that tells a story that engages your audience within the confines of this budget. Do what you would do on any film, which is research. You have an idea, and on one hand I'm saying your idea has to be sort of confined to a budgetary constraint or a scheduling constraint. But on the other hand, as you research, if you visit the website, you'll find out that there are certain things that are made available to you. There's a lot of scenic footage that you can just get right off of the website and incorporate it into your film, which costs you no shooting time and no licensing fee. So you can get these beautiful shots of New Zealand and put them into your spot, no production cost. That's great value for you as a director. So before you actually say, I can't do this kind of shot, I can't do this, see what's available. And the same way, research through the line producer that we put on, that we've been talking to, research what kind of equipment and what your crew is going to be like. That'll also be on the website, but you can also explore it and ask for clarification and we'll give you the answers. 20 years ago, I first shot in New Zealand, and consistently over the entire time I found the crews to be great. And one of the things that I like is that the level of enthusiasm and ingenuity, and I think you'll find such a great backup from the New Zealand crews in every area. And I feel they're technically proficient. Everybody pitches in, and even on a large picture that's true. On a small picture, it's crucial because it means that you don't have as many crew members, but you'll find people will help each other so that even though you don't have as big a crew, they can accomplish many of the same things that a bigger crew would be able to accomplish. As I always do, I've been very involved in helping to plan this out over these months, and will continue to do so. We've engaged a line producer in New Zealand. I'm working with her to help figure out a schedule. We've been working on the schedule. And even though we're working somewhat without the benefit of having a script, we know roughly what the parameters are going to be. So we start to figure out how are we going to accomplish this. And we've been hard at work at that. We've been hard at work in making the arrangements to broadcast this and get it out there. And I've been coordinating on the creative concepts and how we're going to actually accomplish the whole work, as well as liaison with some of the people I love working with in New Zealand, and I'm very proud to be working alongside Peter Jackson once again. So there's Peter, and also Park Road Post, which is a great post-production facility in New Zealand, which is working with us and will give you a chance to work with one of the premier post-production facilities in the world. As producer of Lord of the Rings, I can tell you that New Zealand is an incredible place to shoot in. And anyone in this competition that has a chance to get his work judged by Peter Jackson has the opportunity of a lifetime.